Hi everybody, it's Thursday night in San Antonio, heading back home tomorrow. Before I get started, first of all I want to thank everybody. Today I reached 500 subscribers. I don't want to celebrate too prematurely because I might turn it on tomorrow and have 499. Sometimes I go up and down by a couple, which is okay. I mean, someone subscribes because they think I do all in scale, and then I do a bunch of prototype stuff and they unsubscribe. So that's okay. I'm grateful for everybody who watches my videos, whether you subscribe or not. So thank you. I'm not going to be the biggest channel on the YouTube, but that's okay. I appreciate all the comments and the support that I get. Okay, enough of that. This is San Antonio. This is the Southern Pacific Station down here, the SP. What I'm going to be showing you today, about a mile north up in here, darn. I don't like touch screens. All right. Come back around here. Okay. This is the old Union Pacific engine facility. I've got it on maps right now. I'll put it on satellite view in a minute, but I think it's easier to see the track on maps. Over here is what they call East Yard. So I'm going to click on satellite view now. So you can clearly see East Yard used to have a bunch of stuff there that is no longer there. I'd say a bunch of buildings, have been torn down. These are some stub tracks in here. Who knows what that used to look like. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Looks like it's gone. Still an active yard, but there does seem to be a lot of old bad order cars there. Anyhow, the engine facility is now the Southwest Research Institute locomotive. I think it's rebuilding. It's a really interesting place. So I was able to drive around Milam Avenue and over here on Duval Street and get some shots of that. Has a turntable, a gallows style turntable, sort of like the one that they've got in that Roy Smith sort of models in his on his railroad. I guess that might have been a Union Pacific standard or something, but it's pretty cool. I think it's still operational. There's a lot of different locomotives around there. So I got some pictures of that. Drove down Sherman Avenue, got some pictures of the yard, and actually I drove and sort of had the camera out the window, sort of panned down. You can see there's obviously a lot of stuff that's not there anymore. I turned around at this thermofluids facility. So that's where I'm going to show you first, and then I'll come back and I'll show some pictures that I took somewhere else. Okay, I'm down at the railroad rebuilding, Southwest Research Institute Locomotive Technology Center. There's an abandoned track here in the street. Again, a lot of security around here. I don't know what that is in there. Chicago. I don't know what paint scheme that is. Bessemer and Lake Erie or something. There's a Burlington Northern engine in there for sure. So again, this used to be the Union Pacific engine shops here in San Antonio. So now they do all the refueling somewhere else. There's a bunch more engines back in there. I see a CN in there. This is a better view of that engine. I love all those exhaust stacks on the roofs. It's pretty cool. So I'll drive around, see if I can get other views. Alright, there's the turntable that I pointed out on Google Earth. And here's obviously a building that you could run something in. That's got a big old door in it. I don't see any tracks, so I don't run anything in there anymore. Pretty interesting place. Obviously there used to be a track running beside this building and across the street, because there's still some ties in the ground right up here. So let's go up and take a look at the yard, what we can see. Alright, got a little bit of power sitting in the yard. Sort of drive along slowly here. So again, this yard is a little bit west of the other yard. And there's some more power back there. Obviously people working here. And some more power back in there. The East Yard, 1201 Sherman. There's no traffic on this road. I'll just drive down this way for a little bit. Pan along. There's nobody behind me. Some pretty cool propane hoppers over there. I think that's our hot tank cars, propane cars. Turn around, try to get on the other side of it. Okay, I really couldn't get on the back side of the UP yard. Really couldn't see anything, but this is the back side of the locomotive rebuilding place. And this is the UP main right in front of me. This is the Southwest Research Institute. And you can see there's a CN engine there. Pretty, it's just a pretty cool place. We're going up to see some other engines. Okay, we're looking east. There's UP Main, the yard that we just took a look at, that East Yard. It's on down there, half mile or so. I'm going to pan around. There's the turntable that I showed you. As far as I know, it's still operational, used by this locomotive rebuilding place. And they have, looks like a bunch of GEs they're working on right now. This is very much like an open air type thing. I don't know that they can ever close that building in. I think that building is open on all sides, but in San Antonio, I don't know if you need to. So, anyhow, you got to see a little bit of unusual stuff. Coupled to that Burlington Northern engine, there's a really old looking tank car. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I think I got enough video shot here, and it's 98 degrees. I'm going to head back to the hotel room for a milk. Okay, so this is the East Yard that we just looked at. So if I, hopefully you can see my cursor moving. I'm following east. I'm going to move the screen over. And I'm going to come out to Seguin Road. Now I make some misstatements in here, and I apologize for it. I don't know the area. But anyhow, I Googled railfanning San Antonio. And some guy mentioned, hey, you can park right next to the engine racks on Seguin Road in Kirby, Texas. So I drove out there. You see I've got this blue flag, says engines, because that's on Google Maps. There's engines sitting there. They got these really nice fueling racks, like for 2 or 3 tracks, and I thought, wow, I'll be able to see a lot of power there. I went out there twice, and there was nothing there at all. But anyway, my next shots, I drove past the engine racks, and I found a couple engines sitting, heading west up here. Took a picture of them. I drove back to the engine racks and parked to take a picture of the racks themselves, and a train was pulling out of this. I thought he was just switching, but later on I he ran down past Sunset Station. Of course, I missed the video. I was paying for parking at the time. I will zoom in on. Oh, clicked the wrong thing. Darn it! I wanted to do this. Okay. So I'm out here on Seguin Road now. Apologize for the error there. So here's my blue flag where I said engines. This is a yard. I'm not sure what they call it. In my narration, I may have said something. I'm not sure if I did this or in another video. Anyhow, this is a big area here that I said they loaded vehicles onto auto racks. I'm betting that they're unloading vehicles off auto racks. And I will bet you anything they're pickup trucks. Just by it looks like they have beds on them. You know, it might be a Ford unloading facility or a General Motors unloading facility. But, you know, they've got these movable ramps that they can position at the end of the auto racks and unload. So I'm pretty sure this is a big unloading facility because Toyota loads theirs right at the factory, which is south of town. So that's pretty interesting. Anyhow, this is the yard. And I did get a picture of a couple engines parked at another engine facility. That's what it looks like to me. Right here behind this Capital Food Mart. And I have 3 engines parked there. So that's what I'm going to show you next. This is all going to be around Seguin Road. Okay, I'm at Seguin Road. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. According to the car, it's 96 degrees. So, pretty hot day. I'm going to pull on up. So I Googled railfanning in San Antonio, and it told me this spot. Up ahead are the engine servicing racks, and there are 0 engines parked there right now. Daggone it. The picture I saw online, there's a bunch of engines there. So anyhow, I got to see these 2, nothing moving, but I'm going to keep on, I'll drive on up and show you the engine servicing racks anyhow. Alright, so there is a little yard here. It's a flat switching yard. These are the engine servicing racks. I'm on the east side of San Antonio. Again, in the Google Maps, there's a bunch of engines parked here. I was hoping I'd see something. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. This is a little flat switching yard. And here comes the train. This is definitely UP territory. I don't know if he's switching or if he's actually pulling out. Sit here and film him for a second and see what he does. If he stops and backs up, I'm not going to film it. The train that I filmed a minute ago, 2 engines there parked way down there. Let's see what he does here. A lot of traffic on this road. It's a really safe area to pull off. I don't feel like there's any danger at all. Other than heat stroke. Sort of surprised the Union Pacific with engines without dynamic brakes. To be honest with you, think of them as synonymous with going through the mountains. Alright, that's enough of him. Alright, I know I'm looking right into the sun. Went back to Seguin Road to what I thought was the engine fueling. Nothing there again. I drove up about a mile to see what was in the yard, and these engines are up here. So this looks like servicing to me too. So I don't know what that other thing is. Google Maps shows engines sitting there. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but anyhow, get to see these three sitting here. I'll try to get a view where I'm not looking right into the sun if possible. Sorry, it's the best I can do without trespassing. It's obviously like a office over here, a lot of people working here, so I'm not gonna go any closer than this. Alright, I know we're looking into the sun again, but I thought this was worth stopping for. Ferromex engine, I see those every day. And it looks like a bunch of brand new boxcars. There must be a rail car facility nearby. These are brand spanking new, no graffiti on them at all. So that's pretty cool. Looks like there's what, about 8 of them, 8 or 9, something like that. So I'm going to head somewhere else. I thought this was worth stopping for. This is at the engine racks, but there was nothing there a minute ago. So I went on down Seguin Road, saw the other engines, and came back. Now he's pulled into the yard. Okay, this blue flag down here, if you can see my mouse, that's Seguin Road. This is this line right here. Traffic around here is terrible. Of course, you guys that live out on the West Coast, San Diego, like Roy, and you may make fun of me for saying traffic is terrible. But I live in a town that's 25,000 people, and I live like a couple miles away from work. So I just can't handle this bumper to bumper on the freeway at 15 miles an hour with merging and cutting off and stuff. It's just not something I do every day, and it's frustrating to me. So I decided today, had to work a little bit later today, that I would stop at this place called the Quarry. It's a shopping center because they have, it used to be a actual quarry, and they have some artifacts there, a little 040 steam engine. And then after I ate, I saw the tail end of a train on the way back to the hotel, and I thought, well, I'll never see him again. But I went in hotel, ate supper, changed clothes, and decided to go to Wetmore Road, which borders on the San Antonio airport. This is Wetmore Road. And there's a line that runs right along Wetmore Road. So it's not the same line that it's UP, of course, but it's not the same line. So I came up here to Wetmore Road and parked alongside it and watched planes. And actually the train that I thought I wasn't going to see was parked because it's double track through here, but it changes to single track. So I was waiting, I guess, what road is that? I guess it was right here at this intersection. I waited there and actually saw the same train. So I filmed that. And then I filmed the stuff at the quarry too. So I'll show you that. Alright, so when I was driving back to the hotel, I said, I'll never catch that guy. I went back to the hotel, changed clothes, watched TV, went to get something to eat, and I'm on Wetmore Road, and it's that train that I saw full of gravel. That is a heavy train, and he's loaded pretty good. This is the end of the double track here, so I assume he's waiting on somebody. He might just be waiting on a signal. All of a sudden he's turned his bell on, so I think he might be starting up. So I'll have to get out and film him. It'll be a slow run by. By the way, the car says it's 102 degrees, so pretty dedicated filming this. This guy just ran the gates. The train's going so slow that there wasn't much danger for him. And San Antonio Airport's right there. So this was close to my hotel. I'm not going to film this whole train, even though he's picking up speed pretty good, but you know, it's a heavy train, as you can tell by how many locomotives they got on it. And this line I think is pretty much up and down, pretty hilly profile. I'm not the biggest Union Pacific fan. They're a well-run railroad, and one thing that's really cool is they've had the same paint scheme forever. So you know, you have to admire them, but I'm just more of a fan of Eastern railroads because that's what I'm used to. That's probably enough for that. I'll maybe film the end as it goes by. And there he goes. I guess this way is heading east, I believe. Yep, sort of sun is over my left shoulder. Yeah, that's a heavy train. He's going down great now. I'm going to hang around here for a while, but I'm not thinking I'm going to see any more trains, to be honest with you. I don't think they'd let him out in front of a high priority freight. Okay, you may be wondering why I'm in a shopping mall. The reason why is this used to be a quarry. Now it's a real like upscale shopping area, but they left a few reminders of the quarry that used to be here built around them. And when I was here before, there is a little steam switcher on display here somewhere, cosmetically painted up. Can't remember exactly where it is, but I'm going to find it. Yeah, this is sort of a landmark in San Antonio. Pretty upscale shopping area. See if I can find the switcher. Anyhow, here is the quarry. And there's a golf course down in it now. Of course, it's a gated community up ahead, which I can't get in. But yeah, you can see at the top the big smokestack there and the other four beside it. So, still haven't found the switcher. Still looking. All right, I found the steam engine. This little 040 they used in the quarry. There's a plaque up here. I'll sort of shoot for a second. Pretty rough shape. Not every engineer really enjoyed rolling down the high iron. This was slow speed, rough track, and it was a real hot job. And this is a side dump car beside it. Inside the cab a little bit better there. Being, well, since I've lived in Kentucky for most of my life, not from Kentucky, there's a saying that they say they've been rode hard and put away wet. Means that talking about a horse that you rode it hard and didn't take care of. So I'd say this engine fits that description. So someone's probably got to tell me what this is exactly. I do see a sign over there though. Not railroad related, but still a pretty cool piece of equipment. Here we go, it's a drill. Made in Tiffin, Ohio. I've been there. It's again, pretty cool piece of equipment. Once again, a really hot, nasty job, I imagine. And my final shot of this rather long video, I apologize for this, is that this is just the SP, you know, the old Southern Pacific Station website. I knew I was going to have to work a little bit later today, so I went in a little bit later, and I've been getting there at 5:30 in the morning, but I thought, well, I don't need to get there that early. So I stopped at the depot, and sure enough, there's an Amtrak train spending the night there. For some reason, they stopped for 2 to 5 hours there. They have a layover here in the middle of the night in San Antonio, and Actually, on their Amtrak website, it says, well, you can get off the train if you want to, or you can stay on the train. It's like, but if you stay on the train, you may lose power for a little while, and so it doesn't sound very attractive either way, because I don't know what you want to do at San Antonio at 3 in the morning. But anyhow, I'll show you the Amtrak train just sitting there being serviced, and that'll end the video. So hope everybody enjoyed this rather lengthy video. I apologize for being this long. Home tomorrow, and I'll get back to work on the layout. So everybody stay safe. So I left for work a little bit later, decided to take a detour, and here's the Amtrak train parked at the station in San Antonio. On the website, it says that there's a 2 to 5 hour layover here. And it sits here all night, and you can see that it's hooked up. Engineer conductors climbing up in it. So not an action shot, but it's kind of cool to see anyhow. Looks like there's about 4 cars right here. So glad I stopped to see it.